Somebody help! Elk attacks whammons in park. Men casually walk away. So remember the past couple of years in current year, they've been demonizing the fuck out of masculinity, right? Oh, masculinity is toxic. These damn toxic these males, they think whammons always need their help. Why don't you just stand aside and let these strong, independent whammons show you how it's done? Whammons can do anything a man can do, and better, while wearing high heels and pregnant. That's how awesome the whammons are, so men just need to stand back. Just quit it with the toxic masculinity. Until someone's actually in trouble anyway, and then all feminism and hashtag equality goes out the window as soon as a whammons needs help and there's men around. A group of Colorado men are being criticized on social media for their decision to stand idly by and do nothing as a giant elk attacked a whammon near Estes Park. Yeah, so this just shows you how even in current year hashtag equality era, even in the midst of clown world, people still expect men to be the disposable utilities. If any man sees any whammon in any sort of trouble, they need to be the white knight on call, because if they're not, the rest of society tries to shame them. And you want to talk about toxic social norms or whatever the fuck you want to call them? How about this shit? Why is it that random men are constantly expected to sacrifice themselves for strangers? This does not make fucking sense. Like, say, if it was in the army or something, and it's your own fucking brothers, basically, and I mean, yeah, you're gonna sacrifice yourself for them. But some random stranger on the street? Especially in current year, I've held doors open for women before. I mean, I hold the doors open for men as well. It's just a nice thing to do. And, sometimes I get the look, like, I could do it myself. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll remember who you are, and next time I'll slam it in your fucking face, bitch. And one time I did. That was pretty hilarious. The video footage of the stunning event shows a female bystander recording as an elk suddenly charges a crowd and forces everyone to flee. One whammon fails to get away in time and drops to the ground and is hassled by the elk. And this is the best part. Shocked at what she's seeing, the female bystander with the camera hollers, "Somebody help! Anyone but me! I'm not gonna risk my own life for this fucking stranger, but one of you other strangers needs to jump in and help. I'm not gonna do it. I'm too good for this shit. But there's a few penis owners here. Yeah, your front hole identifies as a penis, right? Yeah, so you need to jump in there and help. I mean, I'm not gonna do shit. I'm not gonna lift a finger. I'm just gonna sit here and record and tell other people to jump in and help. Well, why don't you get your fucking ass in there and help instead of screaming for someone else to jump in and help, huh? How are you any better? It is current year after all. You're a strong, independent whammons. You could, if movies are any indication, you could drop kick that elk and send it flying a mile away. No problem, even if you're 120 pounds. But nobody helps. Everyone just watches until the elk grows bored and meanders slightly away. The clip ends with the pickup truck pulling up next to the whammon to scare the elk off further. See, that's what the guys did, probably. They probably just went to get their truck to do something about the problem. That's the smart thing. Dude, this is the first fucking thing they teach you when it comes to survival. Your own safety comes first. If you can't save the other person without putting yourself in mortal danger, they actually tell you, just look out for number one. Because then the rescuers oftentimes tell you that too. Because then the rescuers, when they finally show up, the trained professionals, they don't want to have to rescue two people because some dumbass that didn't know what the fuck they were doing jumped into a situation they couldn't handle, and then both of them are fucking in danger. But no, there's it's current year. I mean, them evil mans, right? Am I right? All right. So because the bystanders were mostly male, filthy, fucking penis owners. Am I right? The toxic males. And because they just watched instead of taking action, they're being attacked on social media for being cowards. Well, I got news for you, current year clown world dumpster fire. Most of us don't give a fuck anymore. That's one of the positive side effects of feminism, of hashtag equality. We don't care anymore. I've been called a coward before too. You think I give a fuck? Why do I care about the opinion of some random idiot on the internet who I don't like anyway and who's not going to have any impact on my life whatsoever? Yeah, that's right. I don't care. You fuckers can call me whatever you want. I do not care about your opinion. It's just noise in my ear like a fly buzzing around. That's the most you're going to do is annoy me. That's it. You think I care what random idiots that I'm never even going to meet in person think about me? Fuck no. These men are cowards. They either stood and watched or ran away. Not one offered assistance to that whammons. This is what's wrong with our world. We don't care about other humans, one critic. Oh, this is another one I always find funny. How many of these armchair fucking critics here, calling other people cowards for not helping, how many of these fuckers do you think would have jumped in to help? Because everyone's got a big fucking mouth on the internet when it's not their ass in the fire. There's nothing. Their life isn't on the line. Yeah, everyone's got a big fucking mouth then. Everyone's tough shit on the internet where they can say what they want without consequences for the most part. But how many of these motherfuckers do you think would have jumped in to help? I'd be willing to bet not a single one of them. That's how many of these whining little bitches would have jumped in to help. Which is another reason why I don't give a fuck about their opinions. Because like I just said, everyone is tough shit on the internet. It's easy to see someone else in a life or death situation and make judgments as to how they should have acted. But as soon as you're in that position, you don't know how you're going to fucking act. That's the one thing I like to tell people too. When people just talk mad shit, it's like, oh, if I ever had someone pointing a gun at me, I would do blah, 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 blah. I'd do this, I'd do that. No, you fucking wouldn't. Unless you're actually a combat veteran who has been on the business end of a gun before, you don't know how you're gonna fucking act when someone points a gun at you. Nobody knows how they would react to that until it happens to them. And yet it's the guys who are most likely to piss themselves and lay on the ground crying that talk the most shit on the internet. Are these the American men expected to fight the Russians or the Iranians? A woman is fighting a large animal, and those men are acting like it's not their problem? Newsflash, bitch! It's not their problem! The USA is fucked! What a shameful behavior of cowards! So first, there's a lot to dissect in this comment. The obvious one I just went into is, you're right, this isn't their problem. Unless that woman was a friend or family member of theirs, it's not their problem. And the other thing is, no, these American men aren't going to be fighting the Russians or the Iranians. Most war in current year is probably going to be done by technology anyway. Unless it's fucking an urban warfare situation. Yeah, it's the technology doing most of the work. And if these guys were in the military, they'd probably be drone pilots. They're not going to be the frontline Marines just kicking the door down. I can guarantee you that. Oh, there's this one. Why are the men just standing there? Apparently chivalry is dead. Yes. Chivalry is dead. And women killed it. Was it Dave Chappelle that said that? Yeah. Fucking right, man. Chivalry is dead. And women killed it. The thing is, women, if you expect, the traditional man, you better be a traditional woman. Because no guy is gonna risk his life for a fucking feminist land whale that hates his guts. No, that's not gonna happen. Now, if you were a traditional lady, maybe you're gonna get some guy willing to be that traditional man for you, that traditional gentleman. That's the thing. You can't cry, oh, where have all the gentlemen gone, when you refuse to be a lady. It doesn't work this way. You're not going to get any of that traditional treatment unless you give it back. The men in this video are embarrassing. You know, every single one of these people, I hope they end up in that same situation where they need to put their lives in danger to save a stranger. Because I can guarantee you none of them are going to act. And I would love to see them not only being shamed for it, but all of their old smack talk gets pulled back out and used against them. Like, hey, wait a minute. When a much worse situation was going on, you were calling other men cowards for not helping. Why are you seen in this camera footage here just trying to sneak away instead of helping? Would you please explain this to us, Mr. Tough Guy Alpha? Like I said before, I know the answer. I mean, everyone's a fucking tough guy alpha on the internet. In my society, men don't run like this. They try to save the person being attacked like this, even risking their own life. Well, hopefully you're in that situation one of these days, and you can prove it. My problem with this video is the men strolling along and watching and doing nothing to help this woman. Well, what about the woman who was recording just shrieking, "Someone help"? Like I just mentioned before, too, this is what they fucking teach you in survival training, man. If you don't know what the fuck to do, then put your own safety first and wait for the professionals to show up. Or else, like I just mentioned, the professionals don't want to have 2 people to save or 2 body bags to drag off. I cannot believe not one of these men helped her. What is happening in our world? Current year happened. Feminism happened. Hashtag equality happened. All of that. Clown world happened. This is the world you guys wanted, so enjoy. Love it. Am I seeing right? Instead of trying to distract the animals who will stop attacking the women, these men are just looking on? Well, what about all the women who were just looking on? No one's going to criticize them? Where's the equality? This is just what I mentioned at the very beginning. All this smack talk about equality goes straight out the window as soon as the shit hits the fan. Yeah, there are... how did that saying go? There's no feminists on a sinking ship or something like that? Yeah, they're all just poor, weak women's and chillins, right? There's not a single strong, empowered feminist when the ship is sinking. So, and guys know this. Guys understand this. So there's not going to be any gentlemen either, I can guarantee you that. Well, so by the looks of this video, Chivalry is definitely dead and buried. All these men stand by as this poor woman is gored by the elk. Yeah, Chivalry is dead. And women killed it. Home of the brave. Such brave men all walking away watching the women lying there. Like George running over the chillins on Seinfeld when he thought there was a fire. Yeah? I mean, that's the society you guys wanted. As someone whose front hole identifies as a penis myself, I'm just going to tell you now, I'm getting sick and tired of just being expected to be a disposable utility for a society that hates my guts anyway. Why the hell would I do anything for them? Why, though, did the men do nothing? Well, this is where things get complicated. Not if you've been paying attention. The first and most clear reason might be because of the risks entailed in trying to fight an elk that likely weighs close to 1,000 pounds. Yeah, I think that might be a contributing factor. After the incident occurred, a spokesperson with the Colorado Parks and Wildlife told ABC News that elk are currently in their breeding season and thus prone to act very aggressively. People need to maintain a safe distance from elk, even if they are at a building or facility, a golf course, or whatever human dwelling. Yeah, that's right. I guess this is something people seem to have forgotten in current year, where if anyone stronger than you even looks at you wrong, society crucifies them. And so then you just feel like you could do whatever the hell you want. But nature doesn't care. If you walk up to a bear and, I'm weaker than this bear, and he needs to check his privilege, and then you get your face mauled off, nobody's going to give you any sympathy. Nature doesn't care about my privilege. Nature is going to eat your face off without a second thought. The second, less obvious possible reason for the men's behavior may be the growth of left-wing style feminism promoted by Hollywood and the media. Oh, yeah, these guys are actually bringing up very valid points. Is it not feminism that maligns strong men as toxic? Is it not feminism that demands men get in touch with their inner femininity? Is it not feminism that accuses men who challenge female political figures to a debate of being creeps, perverts, and sexual abusers? Is it not feminism that says men and women are equal, except in certain cases where women are more equal? Given the current anti-male climate, is it truly shocking, therefore, that some men either lack the cojones to take on a bull or simply don't care to put their lives on the line for a woman anymore? Wow, they actually got it. They didn't even beat around the bush. They went straight to the actual points. Yes, this is the reason. Yeah, if you expect men to be gentlemen, you need to be ladies. And I don't really see any of those anymore. I just see a whole bunch of whammons trying to be men. And I'm just like, fine, you want to be a man, you can fight that elk. I'm getting the fuck out of here. It's not my problem. Unless you're a friend or family member, or even an acquaintance that I don't hate. Why would you expect me to jump in and help you? I know damn well if that was me being gored by the elk, you would just fucking run. So you're going to get the same amount of help from me. It's that simple. According to some social media users, no, it's not a surprise at all. Yeah, so here we got the smart people responding. Why did all these men run instead of helping? And this guy, oh God, Ralph DeMouth, this fucking genius right here. Because they didn't want to be seen as mansplaining or as usurping a woman's choice to be her own hero instead of having a man come in at the last second and grab all the glory. Bravo to those men who showed enormous woke restraint. Oh, dude. 24 likes on this, too. As much as Twitter is trying to censor everyone and everything, yeah, it's not going to work. This dude's fucking genius, man. And Cranky Yank. Leftist whammons, to use the term loosely, yeah. God, yeah, they're trying so hard to be men. Yeah, they may actually identify as men, so you can't call them women, huh? So leftist whammons harp and shriek at men for being too masculine. Then when men are less masculine, these same harpies whine about men not being masculine enough. If a man had punched that moose, you would be whining about toxic masculinity. That's right. It's true. And you see, the moose or the elk eventually got tired of messing with that woman and walked away, and then the truck showed up. What do you think would have happened if one of these men had ran in and punched it and escalated the situation? Someone would have gotten way more hurt than they did. But since it would have probably been the man that ran in to help that got hospitalized, so nobody would have given a fuck. I read a lot of comments about the hero men who didn't do anything. What about the whammons filming from her car? Should she not have used her horn to try to distract the elk? Or does she get a pass because she was filming? I thought we were about equality now. Yeah, that's a good point too. The woman who was filming was in her car. If helping was that important to her, she could have even tried to ram the elk. Or at least drive right up next to it and honk the horn. There's so many things she could have done. Oh, but those toxic males, though. And the last reason, the one presumed by critics to be the reason, might be because these men really are spineless cowards, i.e. the type too scared to stand up for themselves, let alone anyone else. The veritable Mitt Romneys of the world, if you will. Oh, burn. Burn. I'm not wrong about that last part, but yeah. Again, what obligation do these men have to help? That's, instead of just demanding that that random strangers drop everything they're doing and risk their lives for you, you need to ask why. What obligation do these random strangers have to you? I know damn well, judging by the woman filming from the car, If it was one of these random men getting gorged, all these whammons would have just ran away. Most of the other men would have ran away too, if not all of them. All these guys know nobody was going to help them if they were in that situation, so why the fuck do they owe it to anybody else? As I mentioned before, loyalty is a two-way street. If you wouldn't do it for me, why the fuck would I do it for you?